It started with a conversation overheard in a quiet diner. Two strangers sitting across a corner booth, sipping coffee. One looked tired, mid-40s, eyes dimmed with disillusionment. The other, animated, energized, eyes lit with clarity. The first man asked, "Why is it that some people make it and others don't? We all want success, but only a handful seem to get there." The second man leaned in and said, "Because only a handful know the strangest secret." Hello, I am Bharat, and welcome to Audiofybooks, where you will find excellent audio summaries of books in a very easy and interesting way. If you want to learn from new books, do subscribe to the channel. Let's get started with today's book. Imagine this. You're on a train. Everyone's headed somewhere, but very few know the destination. Most just got on because everyone else did. Some hope they'll end up somewhere good. Others never even questioned why they boarded in the first place. That's how most people live life. Moving, but directionless. According to Earl Nightingale, the strangest secret is the answer to why that happens. And that secret? We become what we think about. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But when you let that truth sink in, it's life-changing. What we hold in our minds, the thoughts we nurture and revisit, they don't just influence our moods or days. They shape our destiny. You are, right now, the product of every dominant thought you've ever believed. Earl starts with a brutal truth. Out of every 100 people who start life at age 25, only 5 will be financially independent by age 65. Only 1 will be wealthy. That means 95% fail. Not because they didn't have the talent, not because the odds were too great, but because they never stopped to think about what they wanted and why. They just conformed, followed the crowd, lived on autopilot. He says most people tiptoe through life hoping to make it safely to death. Let that sink in. Think about your daily routine. How much of it is driven by conscious choice, and how much is just reaction? Wake up, check phone, commute, work, eat, sleep, repeat. For many, that loop plays on for years, decades, and somewhere along the way, the dreams they once had quietly vanish. But here's the turning point. The minute you take responsibility for your thoughts, you reclaim power over your life. Earl shares that success isn't a destination or a title. It's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means if you've decided what you want and you're working toward it every day, you're successful. Whether you're a teacher, an artist, a student, or building a business, if you've chosen your path and are walking it with intention, you're among the rare few. The tragedy is that most people never define what success means to them. They let others define it. Society, family, Instagram influencers. And because they chase goals that aren't their own, they end up tired, unfulfilled, and wondering what went wrong. Earl uses the analogy of a ship. If a captain sets a course and follows a plan, the ship reaches its destination. But if the captain doesn't know where to go, and there's no plan, the ship will drift, run aground, or sink. Our minds are that ship. Our thoughts are the steering wheel. Most people let someone else take the wheel, or worse, leave it spinning in the wind. So how do we change that? First, we need to decide what we want. Sounds easy, but it's one of the hardest things to do. Most people have never taken even 1 hour to sit in silence and ask themselves, what do I really want from life? Not what others expect, not what sounds cool, but what makes your heart beat faster, what brings you alive. Once that vision is clear, the second step is to hold that image in your mind every single day. Earl recommends writing down your goal on a card and reading it multiple times a day. Carry it with you. Let it become your mental North Star. He says, act as though it were impossible to fail. That mindset does something powerful. It activates parts of your brain to see opportunities where you once saw walls. It's not magic, it's science. Your brain filters the world through your beliefs. If you believe you're destined to win, you'll act like it, speak like it, and show up like it. And over time, that becomes your reality. But here's the catch. This works both ways. If your dominant thoughts are about fear, failure, or lack, those thoughts will shape your life too. Earl gives an example that hits hard. Imagine planting two seeds in a garden. One is a corn seed. The other is a deadly poison. The soil doesn't care. It'll grow whatever you plant. Your mind is like that soil. Whatever you feed it, positive or negative, will grow. That's why it's crucial to guard what you allow into your mind. News, gossip, toxic conversations, mindless scrolling. All of these are mental weeds. They choke your vision. They dilute your focus. Earl warns us, be as selective about your mental diet as you are with your food, because the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. He challenges us to try something radical for 30 days. Just 30 days. Here's what he suggests. First, decide exactly what you want. Write it down. Read it every morning and night. Second, stop letting fear dominate your thoughts. Replace it with faith, not blind faith, but belief backed by daily effort. Third, remind yourself constantly, we become what we think about. And finally, act the part. Walk like the person you want to become. Talk like them. Dress like them. Not to fake it, but to grow into it. Earl's voice in the original audio is calm, commanding, and clear. There's something about the way he delivers this message that pierces through all the noise. He's not hyping you up with empty promises. He's giving you a mirror and asking you to really look. One of the most powerful lines from the book is this: the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it is conformity. That hits deep. It means the real danger isn't failing. It's blending in. It's never asking why. It's giving up your dreams just to fit into someone else's version of life. But here's the hope. You can change everything starting now. You don't need to wait for a new job, a perfect plan, or a lucky break. You just need to start thinking differently. That's the strangest secret, the truth that's been hiding in plain sight. We live in a world that's constantly distracting us from ourselves. But the strangest secret is a call to come home, to listen inwards, to reclaim control. It's not flashy or complicated. It's not buried in jargon or 10-step programs. It's simple. You become what you think about. That's it. But simple doesn't mean easy, because holding a single thought with unwavering focus in a noisy world is a revolutionary act. So the next time you find yourself scrolling mindlessly or feeling overwhelmed by all the things you should be doing, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what am I thinking about right now? And is this thought creating the life I want? The beautiful part is, it's never too late. Whether you're 18 or 80, this principle applies. You can choose your thoughts, you can choose your focus, and you can change your life. Earl Nightingale gave us a timeless truth in just a few short pages. But don't mistake brevity for smallness. This idea has moved mountains. It has launched businesses, transformed marriages, awakened creativity, and sparked revolutions inside the minds of everyday people. Maybe you're next. Maybe this is your turning point. Remember, success is not a stroke of luck. It's not reserved for the chosen few. It's simply the result of choosing your thoughts every day with care and courage. So, what are you thinking about right now? That might just be the beginning of everything.